Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another edition of Unsolicited Opinion. Today I just want to talk about how we get to orientate ourselves in an area we are not familiar with or a town we don't even know at all. You know, most often than not, we find ourselves traveling to places or visiting places we have never been before for one reason or another, or we might be even looking for a particular spot and we cannot spot it out because it is either our first time of going there or we've been there before and can't remember our way. How do you find yourself in such a situation to register yourself as someone who is not lost but someone who is going somewhere? You know, as personally, when I find myself in this situation like that, I usually want to ask people, and when I want to ask people, I'm sorry to say this, but then I judge people based on their appearance. Honestly speaking, we are not supposed to judge people based on their appearance. But now, when we have a recurrent kind of attitude or a recurrent kind of character associated with the current kind of people, which is established as a pattern, then we are forced at some point in time to judge people based on their appearances, even though appearance does not mean character. But then what we live in right now, we have to be very careful when we are asking people for directions, especially if we're in a new town where we don't know people. Now, if you find yourself in such a situation, what do? You ask someone you know, ask someone you don't know. But if you're asking someone you don't know, look for somebody who is a little bit presentable. Usually I don't ask men. Usually I ask women, and when I'm asking women, I ask mothers. If I'm asking mothers, I know the kind of mothers I'm asking from. But the worst, I'm sorry to say this, is not like I'm being biased on some people or something. I am just being rational in the way I'm thinking, because I've lived in about 5 regions in Cameroon, and I know what I'm talking about. I ask most often than not in Francophone regions women, and I ask older women. They usually, and their appearance matter. Not every older women I see I ask directions from. I usually, and then if it's a place that is a booming place, I ask young people, and usually they say age is not written on the face, but I ask between the age of 12 and 16 in the Francophone regions. Those are the kind of people I ask from. Then in the Anglophone region, usually any woman above the age of maybe 30-35, I usually ask them for directions. Now, if you don't want to ask people what should we do, you can go on Google Maps, and you can then Google it, because at times, you know, it's difficult for us to actually use the Google Maps. Our society is not developed in a way where they actually identify features on Google Maps by themselves. Usually we are the ones that do it. And if you want to use Google, you want to contribute to the development of a society, make sure that you are also promoting Google Maps by pointing out or establishing specific locations. Don't go and establish a location that will not be there in the next 3 years. Just establish, for example, I established Blue Pearl Hotel. At least if you go on Google Maps, you see Blue Pearl Hotel. I did that. I established other places in town. You contribute towards those kind of places so that gradually Google Maps can have everything we want, and that's how we can easily use to orientate ourselves. Or alternatively, when I take a taxi, I will tell the taxi man, it's not the best, but then it's a way of saying that I don't know where I'm going to, because even the taxi man, at times, their physical appearance, we hear terrible things happening in taxis. You tell the taxi man, I'm going to this location, I've been there before, but I can't make it out, so I'm kind of lost. At that point, he knows that you might know where you're going, you might not know it, but then his mind is that you might know it. So if he's taking something else, you can ask him a question like, why are you turning here? Why are you not going this other way? So at times it evades you from trouble, but then it does not totally keep you out of it. However, that is my unsolicited opinion, that when we are not used to an environment or we are not familiar with it, we should mind the way we ask people and the kind of people we ask to. And alternatively, we can contribute to Google Maps by pointing out important land features in our environment, so that if it does not help you, it will help another person. However, stay connected to Unsolicited Opinion. Remember to like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you know what? It's a wrap up for me. Bye bye.